Hey folks, Jonathan here. Got the valves in for the Franklin. These are Chevrolet 1.5" diameter exhaust valves and 11/32 stem, and they're made for keepers. And I had a lot of people ask me why I want to drill the holes in the valves, which I've already drilled one. Take it out. I will show you. Okay, we've drilled one, and everybody asked why I wanted to, or a lot of people asked why I wanted to drill them instead of just using the keepers off of the Chevrolet retainers. And there's a couple of reasons for that, and I want to show everybody. And some of you will realize it and understand it, some of you probably won't. But here's the deal. Okay, here's the spring off the Franklin. Here's the spring for the Chevrolet. The Franklin spring's taller, but diameter OD is about the same. ID is bigger on the Franklin. So what that is going to do, if I was to use this Chevrolet retainer, then I would end up with a retainer that's not going to stay in the center of the valve. Okay, that's the first thing. And second thing, this valve, as you can see, I can push down. This is hard as a rock. The actual valve spring is a lot stiffer than this spring. So if we use this valve with this retainer, like I was showing you, you know how bad it moves around. I didn't want that, but also, here's the other thing. These keepers are held in by pressure. Now with this valve not having, this spring not having nearly as much pressure on it, the chances of it, you know, pushing up and holding in good is not as good as it would be on this one. And the last thing in this world I want to happen to my Franklin engine is a drop valve. So that is why we're going to run this style, which is the original, with the pin through it, and it holds it, and the pin can't move back and forth because of it's in the recess. So that's why, and I want to do what I'm, you know, do it that way. Drilling a hole in a valve is not that hard. It's not. There's really not much to it. We're using carbide to go through it, so it's not a big issue. So I bought 8 valves. I only need 6, so we've got a couple extras here, just in case I was to screw something up. I did buy a valve seat grinder, which I had one and sold it many years back, and just found another one and purchased it. And on eBay they're $400 to $500 plus shipping. I found one local that was, well, sort of local, not local to me, more local to Scott. That was a whole lot, you know, cheaper, about half the price. And so Scott went and picked it up for me. So I'll probably see him Saturday, and I'll get it, and I can start grinding on the seats on the heads. I'm going to make an extension. Hopefully we got a pilot for 11/32. If not, we'll have to build something, build one. Don't think it'd be an issue. I'm going to show some more on it, but anyway, that's the reason that I wanted to drill the valves. I know, you know, a lot of people said, why don't you just use the keepers off the Chevrolet? But with that little spring pressure, you know, these keepers are made to have a lot of pressure on them to hold them keepers in. If something was to happen and I dropped the valve, I wouldn't forgive myself. So that's why I want to go with the drilled holes. I know, you know, Hit and Miss engine uses drilled holes, and they don't use any spring pressure, not much at all, and they stay good. And I'm not worried about this valve breaking. I don't think that's going to be an issue either. You know, these was drilled and didn't break, and for some reason they was drilled double. There was a small hole drilled here all the way through on all of them, and then a bigger hole here. So don't know, and that hole's 135 thousandths. You know, 125 would be an 1/8. Why they went a little oversized, a little bigger, I don't know, but you know, the pin size is a little bigger, so we had to go 135. But that's it. We'll keep on it. We'll keep getting the valves done. We'll get the head or the cylinders done. The piston is actually down at Dan's. I think he's going to do a video on it, and he has a YouTube channel, and I'll put a link to it, so you'll be able to see the piston getting welded up, and we'll go from there. All right. Okay, so here's our set we was waiting on, and seems to work really well. Motor works good. This is a valve seat grinding set, and it's got pilots
So all we got to do is run a 11/32 pilot, and then we will run this cutter. This is 1.5 inch, 45 degree, and you can actually put them on this, spin them, and this is a diamond cutter to reface, and you set the degrees at 40, 35, whatever you need to set it at. So we can redo our stones. So only thing I've got to do now is make an extension for this to go from here to go into our drill, or our drill motor, and that way we will have enough length to get down in that cylinder. And that's a perfect 1.5 inch diameter, so we'll have no issues on clearing, on the clearance of it anyway. So that's that, and we'll move on from there. Okay folks, I got another thing here I want to show everybody. When I went to buy the distributor tester, that was actually at a restoration shop, and I'd never been to it. Really high-end restorations, and they happened to have an early 60s Rambler wagon that they was updating for a customer. It was already restored, or not perfectly restored, but I mean really nice car, and they was just updating to a V8 automatic with a different rear end. And so they had this engine, transmission, and rear end and torque tube that had come out of it. There's nothing wrong with any of it except for the fact they wanted to update it. And you know, I can't let stuff like this get junked or thrown away, or you know, sold for scrap or something like that. So anyway, bought it at a what I think is a reasonable price, and brought it home and decided we're going to do something with it. Don't know yet. I haven't even tried to start it. It's supposed to run good. I'm sure it probably does. The transmission fluid looks great. It's got a torque tube setup, which a lot of people, well, most of you might know what a torque tube is. There might be a few here that don't. This happens to have an automatic. I don't know what model transmission. It could be a Chrysler, because this is probably, you know, all in AMC stuff. But the torque tube bolts directly to the transmission, and right here is the torque tube. Now this has got a big rubber boot inside of it, really heavy rubber, and you know, it's not it's in really good shape. It's not moving very much at all. So we've got a drive shaft inside of there, and this is just a regular drive shaft. Need some cleanup, but this could be shortened and lengthened either way. Same way with the torque tube, could be shortened or lengthened. Not sure what rear end this is, but it is 5 lug with 5 on 4.5, which is Ford or Chrysler. Has the lug nuts. Brakes have been, I'm assuming, redone. It's got new lines, new rubber line, and new hard lines. So we're going to decide what we're going to do with it. Really neat engines. 196 or 195.6 cubic inch, and they think it was rebuilt. It probably was. Somebody had you know, had it apart for sure to paint it all separate, oil pan, valve cover. But anyway, a lot of information on it, and they do say 195.6 cubic inches, economy 6. So we're definitely going to do something with it, because I don't want to see it, you know, get destroyed or anything. So we will maybe do a first start on it and see how it works out. Okay folks, I've got this outside. I'm not doing the work outside, but I brought it out here so hopefully I can videotape a little better. It's so dark in there. Here's our pilots. Now these they're actually tapered up here. They go in, and when you turn it through this hole, it actually flares this piece out, and it centers it inside of the guide. So we've got one in there already. And what I've done is I went down in. I think it will make me a tool to go down in there to tighten it, but I'll show you how I tightened it. So what I've done, I took this hook tool right here, and I went down and I've just hooked on to the guide and then turned it to tighten it. So we've got it as tight as we can get it, and now I'm going to slide the tool down on it and just see how it looks so far. Okay, so we've got the We've actually got the stone down in there, and what I'm going to do first, just to test out here a little bit, and we are actually doing, let me see, I'm trying to figure out which valve I'm doing. Okay, I am doing the exhaust side on this one. We're going to do exhaust and intake, but here's what we've got. This is a 7/16 bolt with a 5/8 head, and that fits in there perfect. So what we're going to do now, this will drive it. We're going to we'll use my cordless first, and then we'll probably make an adapter to use the regular drill that came with it. So I'm going to give it a try and just see if we can get this seat to look decent. Well, I can't say it good, but I think they're looking good so far. So anyway, you get the idea of what we're going to be doing here. Got a lot of cleaning and honing stuff to do first. I don't think that looks too bad. From what I can see, it don't look very bad at all, but I don't have my glasses on either. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be honing the cylinders, doing each guide, or I mean each seat, drilling the new valves. Now the valve I drilled it a little bit oversized because I didn't have the right size, but I've got 8 of these instead of 6. I can still use it, but it's just a little tiny bit over what I want. So I went ahead and ordered some, let me see, number 29 carbide bits, and a carbide bit will go right through this, no issue at all. And I'm sure I explained enough of why I'm not running it with the other valve keepers. And anyway, just my preference, you know. So we got a lot of work to do here. The problem is my hand don't want to fit in this cylinder, so it's, you know, that much harder. But you know, the main thing is we've got a lot of cleaning to do, a lot of seat work and drilling the valves, and then we're going to lap everything in, and hopefully she'll work out really well. Don't see any issues. Dan, my buddy, he's the engineer down in Charlotte, North Carolina, has welded up my piston and cut my new, he went ahead and cut the new ring grooves in it, so it's ready to go, and I'll have it next Saturday. He's going to come up, so I'm going to be posting a link, I'm sure, if he puts a video up, to his YouTube channel. He's got a small YouTube channel, works on all kinds of different stuff, but I mean, he's got some really nice machines. He likes new and old machinery and machine shop equipment, and so he's always redoing something with machine shop equipment. So anyway, we'll get back on this, and I'm going to show you the process. I'll show you drilling the holes in the valves. I'll show you some more grinding, lapping, everything as we go on this. Alright, so I appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye. Alright, done a little bit on the exhaust seat. I thought that was the exhaust seat. That's the intake. That was the exhaust seat. You can see a little pitting on it. Not bad. Didn't do much at all on it. But that drill for this thing turns a lot faster than what my cordless is turning, so we'll get it set up to where we can use it. We'll get these seats looking good. We'll start, we'll get this honed, and then we'll get these valves lapped in, and we'll start getting all this stuff back together. And anyway, appreciate everybody watching, and until next time, bye.